Hey there, Tenno. Today I've got a little something special planned for today's episode of Fashion Forward. Today's episode of Fashion Forward is going to be a Weebframe inspired episode. And yes, I said Weebframe because today we are going to do my Xaio Mesa lookalike. And yes, it is not an exact duplicate. I got it as close to looking like the character Xaio from RWBY as I possibly could, using what I have available to me in the game. Now, if you don't believe me for whatever reason, that's all well and good, because that's not why we're here. What we are here is to give you something just to goof around, have a little bit of fun with. Whether you actually use it or not is totally up to you guys. But without further ado, let's jump right into mission and go nuts. Now, I've got the static core equipped specifically for the projectiles from Yang's weapon, the Ember Silica. And then just for straight up close combat, I've pretty much just got the Techo equipped because it was the only fist-based weapon for melee that had metallic accents other than the Inkyrus Prime, which I don't have that, unfortunately. Although the thing that's really that really works out in the favor of this is the fact that if you build Mesa for Shatter Shield, then essentially what you have is you have something similar to Yang's Semblance, where you can take a beating and dish out damage accordingly. Which, as you can see, I'm hardly taking any damage as Yang normally would in Rooster Teeth's web series RWBY, because of the fact that her semblance would let her take damage that would normally be fatal for anybody else. And I can just keep on going. And as I've stated before, this is not by any means my, I don't have any real connections to Rooster Teeth or to DE. Therefore, this is about all the better this is going to get with what we currently have available. But if you guys happen to like this video, I will be sure to do a full-on follow-up, or I mean, not just a single follow-up. I'll be sure to do several follow-up videos to do the rest of Team RWBY. I just felt like doing Yang for this because out of all of them, Mesa has a power that literally lets you, that is practically identical to Yang's Semblance, and she has the overall style that just fits the description. And now that this is over and done with, then I still have dust brown pigment. Okay then. But now that this is over and done with, I will show you guys Like, once again, there's the weapons that I'm using to give you the split between close combat melee and just a ranged assault from punching shotgun blasts, basically. Anyway, as far as the actual look, primary color is actually using this brown out of the Twilight palette, and that's to give you the vest, the arms, and majority of the legs. Secondary color is actually this brown out of the Twilight palette, which it pretty much just to match darker colors of her original Season 1 look. And yes, I am saying Season 1. This is not a follow-up from, like, the most recent season. Just because that one's going to be a little harder to do. If we have stuff that becomes available to allow me to do it, I most certainly will. But until then, we'll have to take a rain check on that one. The tertiary and the energy colors are actually going to be this black, well, this black out of the smoke color palette, or any duplicate black you can find, like in the case of this one from the Storm palette. And then the accents are going to be this yellow out of the Oricon palette, just because it basically matches the same shade that you saw with the iconic character herself. Now, as far as I am not using a sandana, a chest plate, or shoulder plates because there's really no need for them. If I could have, I would have preferred to use something that was kind of almost like a belt to give me like a mini skirt that I could just dye white for around here to fit in with that look. Unfortunately, we don't have anything available, and all of the capes we have are just a little bit too big.
Operator,
Unfortunately.
did you hear that? It said...
Now, I'm using the Mirage Noble animation. Really, any animation set will work. I just picked the Mirage one because when in social spaces and whatnot, then you kind of match the stance for the image that I'm going to put up as a comparison, so you guys can see just how similar it actually looks. Because yes, I'm going for similarity, not full-on duplication. Oh, and then the other thing that I totally fucked up and forgot to show you guys was the attachments. I am using the Hulta leg guards, which came with the Loki Knave skin, but I pretty much have them using this brown out of the Grenier palette for the secondary color, this brown and this brown out of the Twilight palette for the tertiary and accents. Energy color is actually just this, because it's not really noticeable on these. And then as far as for that copper-esque look, I'm actually using this shade of orange or rose gold out of the Storm palette. Anyway, that's it for that. And then the regalia that I'm using to kind of imitate Yang's crest was the Community of Tenno sigil, because it's the only one we have that actually has a heart. I mean, yeah, I probably could use the new Kayla de Thame one. I don't know, this one's a little more flushed out. Plus, this is Warframe, not Ruby, so gotta do something to kinda deviate between the two. Anyway, that aside, let me go into the actual weapon appearances now. Now, primary, tertiary, and accent colors are all going to be the same yellow out of the Oricon palette, just because it gives you that solid yellow look with the gold metallic accents. And then I'm using this dark gray for other parts, just because black looked a little too tacky right there. Yet gray actually stood out and made it pop a little bit, which is what I liked. And then the energy color is actually this orange out of the Halloween palette. However, you can use any orange or yellow that you can find a similar duplicate to, or that you think looks alright. I just did that because that was what closely resembled the actual blasts from the Ember Silica from the show itself. And then as far as the Techo goes, it is pretty much the same 3 colors. The secondary color is a slight deviation. Instead of it being this one, it is actually this color set. But once again, you can use all 3. It's such a minor detail that it's not really noticeable. I just did that to kind of blend some shades together. The accent color is actually this black from the smoke palette, but any duplicate black that you can find will also work. Just to kind of give you a little bit of an accented detail, like what the Ember Silica had in its casual form. And then once again, the same orange color for the energy. I mean, that's really all that I have to show you guys for today. If you like the little Weebframe spin-off for FashionFrame, I will be sure to do multiple ones and I won't just be sticking to Ruby itself. I will do stuff from other anime, cartoons, whatever, and I will try to get the look as close to the original character design as I possibly can. But you guys are going to have to bear with me, is that there's a limited number of resources that I actually can work with in the game. So there may be parts that don't actually match up, like the fact that Mesa has no eyes. Mesa also doesn't have long, flowing fucking hair. So the default helmet was the closest I could get, because it's the only thing that has anything on it with cloth physics that you could kind of treat as hair. But for those of you that watch this video, thank you so much. And be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you like this video for whatever reason. If not, there are plenty of other videos within this playlist and plenty of other videos in other segments on my channel that I'm sure you guys will love. And don't be afraid to give a shout out to your friends. Maybe they might like something that I have. Maybe they might have some questions that I will try to answer to the best of my ability. Or even if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. And also, go ahead and follow me on Twitter or player.me to stay up to date with all news related to Warframe, IRL, upcoming Twitch stream, whatever. Links for both of those can be found in the description box below, directly under my GameWisp link, if you guys would like to subscribe to my YouTube and Twitch channels for a little bit of added support. It is not required, however, it would be greatly appreciated if you guys chose to do so, but do not feel forced into it. That is not what that is there for. That is just purely for you to do at your own discretion. And until next time, Tenno, stick to the shadows.